Don't you go anywhere. On today's Blockchain Basement, we're going to be covering Charles Hoskinson turning into a meme overlord. Can Solana recover from this? Also, one of our favorite coins in the privacy sector coming back like the Roaring 20s, and we're going to dive into the deep, dark secret of why China's real estate market is doomed. All this and more on today's Blockchain Basement.
We are the bread and butter of all the information that's been swimming across the internet for crypto news.
If you're gonna screw me, at least pull my hair.
Hell yeah. What you got?
They could start chopping off fingers. They're like, give me your seed phrase, but I don't know it.
Over 2 years, he's made like 17K on Roblox. And he's
What?
Like 12.
You never listen to me, and we must be married. Yeah, well, how much are you investing? $100.
400 to 600,000.
Do you
The
think it's
generational signals are now. Now.
You're spread so thin, that's how you get in on Snake. Snake's been my biggest winner.
Righty then. Welcome one, welcome all to the Blockchain Basement. We have some wonderful people here in the show today. Josh, thanks for joining us, man.
I'm excited to be here. It has been a minute, but people were asking on stream because we were talking about some controversial stuff.
Yes.
So I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, man. Glad to have you. It's kind of a new setup. You know, we've kind of changed
I'm like,
a little
which
bit.
camera do I look
a little
at?
bit of I know. So, you know, don't worry about all that. Hannah, how the hell are you doing? You know, we got your microphone a little bit more set up today, so I'm going to have less tisms. But
Less
how's your day going?
tisms.
Yeah.
I'm doing fantastic. Cozy.
Cozy. You gave me a article this morning that I really liked. Just some of the potentials of, I believe it was Farcaster we were talking about yesterday. We're going to be touching on some of the intricacies of why it may be viable to potentially be bought out by its conglomerate overlords, which are X and larger socials. So, yeah, loved seeing that information come over this morning. Now, obviously, we have DZ covered this. Barack Obama highlighting that Bitcoin is basically just walking around with the Swiss bank account in your pocket. And yeah, I mean, this is the biggest advertisement we could ask for in crypto. This is from Matthew Schultz, friend of the channel and the Hit Network brand. We have gone to CleanSpark in the past. Massive mining firm here in Georgia that's also helped increase the viability of our electrical infrastructure by bringing Bitcoin mining locally in a big way, just highlighting that this is a gigantic advertisement. You know, Obama upset that retail plebs like you and me could have access to an immutable vault for our own value, and that scares the shit out of the elites. So, you know, I don't need to rail on it too much. Josh, you had a bunch of thoughts on this. Oh boy.
Yeah, you know, he's like, listen, I don't know how to do the Obama voice, but listen.
Yeah,
you know, it's like
The pause.
yeah, I can't do it, and I don't want to do it because I don't care to do it. He wants to take away your privacy, and that's the ultimate goal here. Is they want to just tax every single transaction while they just do not hold themselves accountable. You know, blockchain is a beautiful thing. There's gonna be illicit activities, and obviously, this administration and previous administrations want to control that. They want to bring on more IRS workers while they can't even hold themselves accountable with their own auditing.
Yeah.
And so I think this is just the progression that we're starting to see with ultimately the never-ending takedown of privacy tokens, which we just saw with XMR.
Yep.
And then, of course, I think what will lead into more regulations for on and off ramps for stablecoins.
Hannah needs a whiff hat.
A
Hannah whiff hat. That could be a thing.
Hannah whiff hat.
Aaron's microphone's not on yet. Oh, and we just had Aaron hop on into the show here. How you doing, Aaron? Good to see you come. Are you ready to work out after this? It's been kind of brutal yesterday.
Yeah, Celsius.
Yesterday I got destroyed. I was trying to fix my form on my bench press, getting the elbows closer in. I ended up having to do 8 or 9 sets.
I owned it.
You tear up the bench.
Owned it, baby.
You guys probed that bench like Janet Yellen? Or?
Oh, God.
Wait, you had to do 8 or 9 sets. Why?
I'm fixing my
his
form.
form
I'm getting
sucks.
my elbows
True.
closer to my body. You know what I mean? I did a little
Lightweight,
chicken wing
more
action when I
reps.
started
you gotta
going a
keep
lot
the
heavier.
elbows
So
in. Gotta have good form.
yeah, you know, just gotta always improve. Always trying to self-improve. I am getting closer to 40 as I see it, so I'm trying to keep.
Sorry I'm late though. Sorry I'm
It's
late.
all right.
Josh
It's
has
all
me
right.
working on a thumbnail for a video of some ecosystem I've never even heard of.
Yeah.
I literally had to type in, I'm not gonna say because I don't spoil it. I was like,
Yeah.
blah 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 for dummies because I have no idea what it is.
You put it in Bard. Me in Bard, I'll be like, I'll paste something. Now explain this to a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
And then it gives me my.
I honestly don't even know what you're talking about. Which one?
You're quite a busy man.
Maybe it's not
stay
even
very
ecosystem.
busy.
I don't know.
Which one was this that
Yeah.
we filmed? Yeah, I know it's been a
Scotty
busy
swing,
time.
yes. I was pissed off when I broke or dislocated my shoulder. I couldn't do my reps at 225 anymore. I'm finally back to that level. So a little bit less aggravated with the injuries. You know what I mean? Like it sucks getting old, feeling decrepit. I fall down. I was acting like a jackass though. I was going through the grocery store parking lot on a shopping cart very fast.
Well, hey, the more fragile you become, the more likely you are to be elected. So maybe you're going to be our next president.
That's hope for the future.
That's
I
hope.
like that.
You get to reach for it.
I like that. A little sprinkle of hope. We got this Bitcoin being the new gold. This is a post from Game of Trades just before we went live. Cumulative flows in all Bitcoin funds compared to gold ETF holdings. And as we can note here, I think it's very interesting. We have the consistent narrative that China's going to take over the world and buy up all the gold and take over the world financial system and US dollar dominance. Yet the overall gold ETF inflows kind of look lackluster. And then you have Bitcoin funds just getting started here with the party. BlackRock is now taking up more cash than 99.98% of all ETFs, according to Eric Balchunas of the Bloomberg ETF analyst side. Makes sense, man. You know, it's the fastest horse in the race right now for the world economy. You know, these major fund managers obviously see these things. But I do feel like I was talking about... I was talking with Piano Matty B this morning on a live stream. I hopped on Piano Matty B's stream this morning, and I was just talking about we're kind of still sloughing off the ETF hangover, I feel like. A lot of when moon, no moon, wait, why no moon, right? Like that's kind of like the sentiment right now. And it's across the board. You know, it's people will come in when the prices are exciting and there's all this stuff. And then they miss out at the worst time to possibly miss out, which is when you get good entry points, when the calm is in the water before the storm, which in my opinion is largely where we're at right now. Josh, when do you see this ETF for Bitcoin really having like a strong impact on price? You know, we see good inflows, like these BlackRock holding at least 3%, of BlackRock and Fidelity holding 3 or more % of all Bitcoin now.
Yeah.
When is it really going to kick in that the scarcity's there and they're running out of time?
Yeah, I'm kind of honestly, I think it's going to be the Bitcoin halving. So if you guys don't know, we're like now 66 days. It's going to constantly change. It's going to range between about 66 and 86 days at this point.
Yeah.
Before that Bitcoin halving actually takes place. But that's really the next retail narrative that I see is going to have an impact on what is being caused from these ETFs. And what is being caused right now is a slow but ever-burning supply shock.
Yeah.
And so once that Bitcoin halving happens, we're going to now see the reward reduction go from like, I think it's like $125,000 you get in Bitcoin or whatever it is in terms of the price at 3 point something, 125 Bitcoin that you get for reward as a miner. That's going to get cut in half, and the demand's not going to change. So that supply is going to get cut in half. The demand's going to be the same exact level. And now we have institutions like you were showing doing more and more in these inflows. So there's been FUD around Grayscale, Mt. Gox, and all these sell-offs. And honestly, like, I don't care necessarily what the price is of Bitcoin these next 2 to 3 months. I want to be in that market because I believe that retail hype is going to come from that spot Bitcoin or that Bitcoin halving.
It'll be
coming.
easier to explain to the new people that, look, it's getting scarcer and scarcer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes perfect
Yeah,
sense.
that gold chart. That gold chart was perfect.
Yeah, I mean, it shows the whole story right there. But another thing I almost went on a rant on is this whole narrative that China is buying up enough gold to, become the new reserve currency. And that's just not happening. It's just not happening. It's not on the charts. So I can't say that it's real. It's just, it's like birds being real. It's not real.
Did you see the chart of, it was like $84 billion in Chinese investor money is moving into banned Bitcoin now.
Yes.
So it's like, we see the trend. There's a lot of catalysts that can take place over the next 3 to 12 months that can set us up for that bull run that everybody's been waiting for.
Yeah, I'm liking it. And we saw a little amendment to ARC 21 shares, just filed an amendment S1 for their spot ETF to be only cash creations and some of the things that bring it in line with the recently approved spot Bitcoin ETF prospectus. So basically just cash to create shares. I like the non-ability for them to arbitrage it with debt on the books, things of that nature. When you compound debt on top of debt on top of debt, it becomes a house of cards, as we've seen with the U.S. Monetary system. Alf on a pole. I'm gonna go see what Alephium. May as well check into the Alf. Alephium is kind of a Caspa competitor, proof of work coin. Kind of rode off the tailwinds of Caspa's upswing. We do have an Alf mining video on this channel. You can go check out if you're interested in that. A little bit of an 11% pump on the day, not bad at all. Yeah, this is looking pretty darn good here. It's climbing back up from its drop to dead point here, higher lows, and here's your yearly. So obviously, if you got in early on Alephium, you're doing really well. As it sits right now, it is approaching its all-time high, so you got to keep that in mind if you're looking at getting into the project by purchasing OTC. But you can find out how to mine it on our channel. Just make sure to check out our videos, and you'll be able to see that. Bitcoin, whoa,
what's she doing?
Whoa
She's
there.
getting feisty here. 43.6. This is fun. Okay,
Drew, I have an interesting question.
what's that?
There is something happening this weekend. I believe it's this weekend.
Okay.
And I'm curious if there's going to be certain commercials during this event. If you're not catching the drift yet, it's the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Do we think there's going to be crypto commercials or not?
Bro, low key.
I think you have to.
ETF?
I think there is. I think that an ETF,
An ETF commercial. I
There's
just
going to be an
saw,
ETF commercial,
I
and then
put
a
it
sell-off.
in Slack, but I just saw my first Google.
It was you that put in
ads.
Slack that you saw an ad.
Yeah, I just saw.
Okay.
I was watching the video on my Farcaster article on, I think it was decrypt.com.
Yeah.
And there was a Google advertisement for a Grayscale ETF, which is the ad I saw in the airport too.
Let us know in
GBTC.
chat. Are they going to have a Bitcoin or crypto commercial in this?
Maybe
Super
that'll
Bowl?
make the price go up?
Did you guys, I don't know if you have the article, but did you see that they announced that they're not going to do it?
What?
I think that the Super Bowl has FTX scares.
Yeah.
And they've kind of
They
been.
said that there's not going to be.
Yeah, so it does seem like they announced that there's going to be no crypto commercials whatsoever.
Interesting.
But that does differ from like a spot ETF product.
Yeah.
So
Right.
maybe we do get a
Yeah.
VanEck or an
That's
institutional
what I was,
ad.
That's exactly what I was
But I
thinking.
do not expect like VeChain commercials or like anything like that, just because
It's probably VanEck.
Yeah, they are getting
VanEck
in
If
trouble right
VanEck
now.
had one, I would be so.
VanEck,
Oh,
I've
shoot.
seen VanEck on Twitter, but I haven't seen any on Google or
Yeah.
I think
YouTube yet.
Grayscale has been pushing.
Yeah.
I've seen Grayscale.
I mean, BlackRock, I don't think that they would do it. Fidelity, maybe. I think it'd be
Fidelity
between
could.
Fidelity and Van Eck, but I think that they would. Let us know. I think
I
that.
just don't know.
Was
Their
that-
opinions are all different.
I know.
Was that?
I don't think it's
Oh.
anything that'd pump the markets though.
No, I did them
No.
dumps. Like
I think it'd be hype.
God.
Yeah, but do y'all remember when they did the was it Coinbase that did the
QR code.
the
That's what I was
QR
about to
code?
say.
Yeah.
My
Oh,
dad
yeah.
got like $15 worth of Bitcoin because of that.
Really?
People realize at least what it was.
Yeah, it
That's
made
pretty
him
cool.
download the Coinbase wallet and all
Right.
that stuff, and he got
I
his
was
$15.
about to say, I cannot believe that was a commercial. That's one reason why
Yeah.
the Super Bowl would have to like tap in and like regulate it a little bit to an extent, because just like a QR code like floating around is not.
Was that last
It's
year's or the year
fine.
before?
I feel like it was
Last
last year.
year, I
Maybe not.
think.
But just think, Taylor Swift's going to be there. There's going to be so
No,
many
it was
more
too-
people
Is Taylor
watching
Swift doing
the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl?
This
No.
is so true.
She didn't
No.
want to invade
She's
on.
dating one of the people in the Super
Who's
Bowl.
playing
so
the
she's
show?
going to be there.
Who's playing
it's the
the show?
Chiefs against the 49ers.
Who is
so
playing?
T Swift's going to be there. They're probably going to put her on camera 20 times.
Yeah, she said she didn't want to perform at the halftime show because she didn't want to take Kelsey's clout or his day from him.
Let's
Who
see.
is
Who's
halftime?
What
Usher.
a, not,
It's
what a nice
Usher,
girl. It's
right?
Usher, yeah.
Usher. Okay.
He's gonna come in
Usher,
flying down like
baby.
2016 or whatever he was on the.
Okay,
I don't
yeah,
know
it's
if you remember.
Ursher.
Or it might
Ursher,
have been
what a
longer than that.
throwback. Ursher, I got to remind myself of who this guy is. Who is Usher? I've heard this name.
gonna be
through
QR
my
codes
life
all over
growing
the
up.
screen.
This guy, this freaking guy. All right. Well, I'm sure he'll do a good job. You know what I mean? He made some pretty cool songs. But moving on.
He
so
made Justin Bieber.
he made Justin, like
Whoa,
he conceived Justin Bieber.
Justin is now finally happy. Please, refrain from the. No, I'm just kidding. Have you
Oh
seen that
my
on
God.
Twitter? They're like, he looks so happy.
He looks happy now. He looked like a crackhead the last time I seen him.
I just feel like it's media. Like they just ended up getting a bunch of terrible shots of him, and he was just going through a hard time. And the one time he's on stage happy, and now like everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, he looks so good."
He was also
that?
drunk, I think.
He could have been drunk. There's a million things he could have been
Dude,
on.
I wonder if the Fed's Khashoggi was drunk when he said this. Let's have a look at it. Peter St. Ange bringing this up. This is an infinite amount of cash.
Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah, this is you guys are covering him this morning. I was
His
like,
eyes
they
are
took
kinda
my video,
scaring
but
me.
This is my favorite video of this guy. I wonder. Let me make sure that this website's not muted. Let's see.
An infinite amount of cash at the Federal Reserve. We will do whatever we need to do to make sure that there's enough cash in the banking system.
Look at his eyes.
Does he blink ever?
He looks absolutely
I'm
unhinged.
scared.
Unhinged. This guy
He
is.
looks like a little Dirk.
There is an infinite amount of cash in the Federal Reserve System. I mean, it's just insane to say that with such vigor. You know what I mean? Like, there is no end to the amount of money that we could literally steal from the pockets of your grandmother so that she starves trying to ride out her retirement over the next 30 years. It's like they're excited about the demise of the people that they govern. Very interesting to see this kind of a display from a Fed leader, but I guess I could expect nothing less at this rate. Now, here is from Radar: credit card debt hitting a staggering $1.3 trillion. Thick. Probably nothing, right? Here's the total credit card debt in the United States tracked over the last, let's say, 5 years since 2018. Man, 6 years. God, it's 2024.
Yeah.
It is 2024 right
Yeah.
now.
Remember
My
when we weren't
God.
supposed to live past 2020?
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
worst apocalypse of my life.
Now they're saying 2026 was the
I
end
thought
of
it
the
was
world. We
2012
won't make
was
it
the end
to
of the world.
2026.
I was
Well,
about
no,
to say
2012.
2012. I was scared.
Y2K.
2012.
Yeah.
I was 11
Y2K.
years old. And I was like,
3 years old in Y2K, and I remember it.
Yeah.
You know,
And the
I was
real
like-
reason to be prepared was the Summer of Love, obviously from Mr. Floyd and all of those things that came along with it. So, you know, it's more of a slow boil when it comes to the end of the world. It's more of the end of the world as we know it. Total credit card debt in the U.S. just absolutely looking parabolic. What a great investment if you're in early. Wow.
I believe it after all the Caleb Hammer and Dave Ramsey stuff I've watched on my TikTok.
That's
My
really scary,
gosh.
dude. Really scary to just think that people are like, I'll just take on more credit card. I'll just take it on. They don't realize, you know, when you die and you're immensely in debt on, say, your mortgage or all these other things, they get passed on, right? Those problems get passed on.
They're buying cars worth more than they make in a year.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, completely short-term mindset. You know, here for a good time, not a long time. It's
crazy.
It's a pretty unfortunate thing to see, especially when I'm thinking about the kids, what the kids are going to do, how they're going to make their up and coming moment in their lives. And if they can't, utilize the land that you've been able to somehow acquire, but then can't seem to finish paying off, then it goes off to the bank, right?
Let me ask you, did you ever like look at your parents and say, you guys don't know what's happening?
Yes.
You'd be like,
Yes.
Mom, Dad, times are completely different.
Yeah.
Do you ever think about how in 10 years your kids are going to be telling you that?
Absolutely.
That's crazy.
Because I'll be stuck
Isn't that just weird to think
that's
about?
very
That's
scary to
crazy.
think about.
Yeah.
That's very, you know what? I hope it changes in the positive direction. If it keeps going the rate it is right now, they'll be talking about, I only make $400,000 a year,
what?
My rent is $50K a month, Dad,
Yeah.
I can't imagine that moment, but comparatively, it is very similar. And then I'll be judging them on their progress moments in their life based on my previous progress points. It'll be completely different.
By the time they're driving, it's going to be normal for them to see self-driving cars with people locked into a headset, like doing work on an hour-long commute drive.
Seashells in the bathroom.
Seashells. What's this one?
3 seashells. Demolition Man.
By the
Again,
seashore?
Yeah, I haven't seen Demolition
she
Man.
needs to see. This is a mission of mine. You haven't seen it.
No.
I've never seen it either.
You guys need. This is a study requirement.
Okay.
For the times that we are headed in, you have to see Demolition Man. I beg you.
What's it on?
Interesting.
It's just a movie. Sylvester Stallone.
Oh,
one of his
gotcha.
best.
Okay.
We may as well look up the title here.
You can watch
Think
it on
about
Amazon
this though
Prime.
on the side.
Yeah.
We're talking about like people wearing VR headsets in public or whatever. That's weird right now, right?
Yeah.
Remember when it was weird and awkward to take a selfie in public?
Oh yeah.
And now it's just like
Oh, yeah.
completely normal.
And now they're live streaming screaming, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of intrusive. Like
Now
if you're-
VR headsets are going to be like normal in public. Right now it's a little weird.
Recording at the gym used to be like the
Yeah.
scariest.
Now it's
I
like
don't
get the
do it
tripod out of
still.
my way.
But yeah, now you go to the gym and there's
Yeah.
like 10 people.
Here's
VR's the next
Demolition
thing.
Man, you guys. You got to see this one. A must-have for any video collection. Sylvester Stallone, Wesley Snipes. What a combination. Absolutely thick. So let's see here. Where did we leave off of? Oh, yeah, this is great. From Kelly Killam. What are your thoughts on this? Man struggling to feed his family, just happy that he can fund wars with his taxes. Right? Nice smile. This is great. Thanks,
Obama's
Joe.
best friend.
Yeah, feels great. Really feeling represented now that you basically have shut off comments and have an automated system to find your political opposition in real time and silence them. That's fantastic. Feeling great. Thanks for all the improvements. And now we go to this. Genevieve Roche Decker. Morning and everyone. Moody's downgrade of New York Community Bank Corp to junk status. This is the bank we're reporting on. I think it was like 2 weeks ago, maybe a week ago. Was sliding off of a cliff on its stock valuation. Let's take a look. Let's have a see. So NYCB is a parent company of Flagstar Bank, one of the largest regional banks in the country. Stock is down 60% since they announced plans to cut dividend and stockpile reserves from troubled commercial real estate loans. There is the major ugly, dark secret. Now, Jerome Powell said yesterday commercial real estate is a sizable problem. About 14% of commercial real estate loans and 44% of office building loans are in negative equity currently. Meaning that the debt is now greater than the property value. This is found heavily on FHLB rating sheets. We've shown them in the past, but if you're interested in those as well in live time, see what the data is updated to. Banks could lose $160 billion from real estate, which makes up about 1/4 of the average lender's assets. Small banks will suffer the most. Big banks will win by absorbing the losers. So quite a uncomfortable situation for this man who seems to be in a little bit of a pickle right now. I think he's in a bit of a hard rock and a hard place, as they would say. No one has seen it besides Druth. You guys fail. You see what happened?
I was too busy watching my Disney movies probably back in the day.
Oh,
so.
Disney. Yeah, Disney used to be good.
They used to.
I wasn't even born yet, so
Oh yeah, I
Oh
forget
my.
you're a young one.
Yeah, you weren't either. Aren't you a 2000s
Yeah, I
baby?
wasn't born 2001.
2000.
Whoa.
That's crazy.
I saw Elon's tweet last night about Disney. He said, reply to this and you'll be part of the lawsuit, basically. Like, reply to this and you'll get.
God, what a great
I
time.
have
support
that.
for Disney
Where
That was
is
awesome.
that?
Yeah.
Hold
Wait,
on here.
but I'm not done with this real estate because I kind of wanted to break this down.
Okay, you jumped ahead. I'll get to the Disney stuff here. You kind of got me. I had that ready to go. It's like you read my mind there. We also have this, the winner of the Nevada Republican primary election. Literally none of these candidates, over 61% of the votes are for none of these candidates. This is a double the 32% that Nikki Haley, second place candidate, received. Trump was surprisingly not on the ballot. Well, I wonder
Shocker.
whose name would be under that if you didn't whitewash information and act like the orange one is not on his imminent return.
Oh, look, Mike Pence.
Yeah. This is nice that they're groveling around with, these foolish options here, but we all know it's coming. We all know it's coming. Let's check the charts on the man here, the myth, the legend himself.
Good gosh.
It's coming back down. It went up to like $3.30, $3.20 last night, shaving off a bit, coming back down to $2.30. Absolutely a chaotic ride. My God, this is an insane graph if you really look at it. Market cap's already. Like the market cap being over $100 million, there's no way I'm getting in right now. Oh,
we said that last time, Drew.
We
said that last time.
My favorite last word.
And the price keeps going up.
I have increased my minimum. So,
dang it.
I know. I have increased it
That's
to
insane.
$20 million. If this thing goes down to $20 million, I am going to literally send
it was like $1.06
every
when we said
single
no.
ISO token I have into this with no cares. I do not care. For ISO tokens.
You're moving your stable coins?
Yeah, my failed stable coins from
It's
2012.
right there with you. Man. I've been holding them for so long.
All his chain link is going into Trump.
I pray Saudi Arabia saves HBAR here soon with their new partnership.
Yeah, you seem bullish on HBAR. I like that. What are your thoughts
I mean,
on
I
HBAR?
am, but it's like a biased front. Like I knew their marketing team very early, like their actual corporate division.
Okay.
And I was very early on, like, I love their governance council. I always knew very early on decentralization didn't matter. It was like the actual structure and marketing that was going to come from these projects. And so Hedera, dude, their governance, you're telling me they do not have there's not a more stacked council out there or, project ran by, mega corporations. I know that sounds terrible, but we're here to make money. And when I look at Boeing, I look at the largest government contractor in the world. I'm like, they're partnered with Hedera. Like, how is this not worth more?
Well, that's Boeing's in trouble itself.
I was about to
Did you
say,
see
those
that?
planes
Boeing's always in trouble.
They've been falling apart, bro.
When's Boeing not in trouble?
Boeing is really in for some hurt. Who is going to take Boeing's place? I think it's Airbus. I think Airbus.
Who owns Airbus though?
It's like a French based or Luxembourg based company. Let's look it up. Who owns
Lockheed Martin?
Lockheed
That's
Martin.
like who's on the board of advisory and directors? I always jump into who's going to get the government contracts, right? So who's going to give those to Boeing? And generally, there's a council or committee that's advising a certain council or committee or the Pentagon directly that goes, hey, you guys should do A, B, and C over the next 5 to 6 years, and that's how these mega corporations get their contracts. Now, where people don't talk about this is people like Nikki Haley, who are a part of these boards and these advisory positions that are also running for presidency, that are on the board of Raytheon and making decisions for weapons deals and arms deals that affect the Middle East. It's like it's this whole collusion circle that you have to watch. But are you pulling this up?
Well, it's based in the Netherlands, so that I could see. I could see U.S. Officials working out a deal. Airbus is just a well-entrenched airline manufacturer. There's not many to go around that are trusted on that scale of Boeing. So maybe Boeing will just take a slap on the wrist on their stock valuations and up their preventative maintenance programs. One would hope.
Hey, I heard, Germany obviously makes way better cars. So maybe but that you said it's French. So Chad, I think I was a little off there.
Yeah.
I wish it was Germany.
My family lineage is from Luxembourg. It's like right on the edge.
That's like 25% of where I'm from.
Is it really?
Yeah. That's
Holy hell.
side, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. I got to go to Luxembourg. There's a Viter house. That it's a pretty large farm in Luxembourg that I got to check out.
Yeah, one day I'll go find the connected family that I can't talk to.
Yeah, man. I got his email. I got my guy's email.
They follow me on Facebook.
Do they?
We'll make it a whole thing.
Okay, let's make it happen.
Family reunion.
Going to finding our roots.
Gas was pumping apparently.
What is
Caspa?
Caspa is looking pretty good on the day. Let's check it out here. Hedera, though, interesting. Before I go to Caspa, Hedera, really, I mean, if this is a major mover in the next market, you have not missed the opportunity zone, which is important to note. Here is the all-time graph for Hedera, hash graph. On the year, it's had a lot more exciting price action than other ISO tokens. Like XRP, feels like I'm watching paint dry. This, at least it goes, it went down to 4 cents, 4.5 cents, pumps up to, just under 10 cents. It's had some price action, some livelihood to it. $2 billion, $2,525 million for the market cap there. At least you haven't missed the opportunity zone if what you're seeing kind of pans out. I mean, that's an interesting thing to look at, because I want to throw I want to throw all the tokens out with the bathwater when I get pissed off about the idea of ISO taking over banking infrastructure. But maybe there's something that I'm missing there, because I just don't. It's hard for me to imagine the power that the banks have within their own proprietary systems that are being developed. Obviously, to assume that they're not is fooling ourselves, right? They see JP Morgan doing it. Why would they hand the keys to the castle over?
It's why I look at the Saudi Arabia deals as so big, because what I'm hoping, and we don't know what necessarily the funding is going to be used for. It's $250 million over a 5-year period, so it's $50 million per year.
Yeah.
But the one thing about Saudi Arabia, there's a lot of changes going on, we'll say, between the princes and the old royalty. And so just everything that's happening out there, they're moving away from being completely reliant on oil. They're opening up a lot to tourism. This is one of the largest centers in the world right now for technology, longevity, which is going to be your science category. They're investing into a lot of new industries. And so I'm hoping what we see out of this is that 50 million isn't used for the same basic corporate jargon. It's used for community development, Internet of Things, metaverses, and that is what's going to drive community, which will bring back some trading value back into that ecosystem. Because let's be real, at the end of the day, you need a community to move these prices. And Hedera's it's one of the smaller ones.
It's a reasonable point to be bullish.
No crypto taxes in Saudi Arabia, right?
No, it's very, very crypto friendly tax
that'd be
haven.
nice.
I think it's completely free. In Abu Dhabi or Dubai, one or the other, they have different. Dubai is tax free. Abu Dhabi's ADGM, which is now the CEO of Binance. He's the one that developed all of these. Yeah, he developed the entire plan for the ADGM out there, and he also built the Monetary Authority of Singapore. He was working there for a while. So
very nice.
Man,
that sounds promising.
What's going to happen in Dubai if they ever just we're going to tax crypto?
I mean, they'd probably be able to pull it off, but then
there's some people that are screwed that live out there.
Yeah.
People have moved there because of that.
It would be awesome for us. We would laugh, dude. They're just going to open up another water spigot and oil's going to pour out. They'll pay their taxes off just fine.
Because I'll be honest, when I was in Dubai, I was kind of asking people, I'm like, are you fearful that one day that they're going to tax your crypto?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, it kind of crosses our mind every once in a while.
They might change it up to get that money.
It's kind of scary. And honestly, I feel like they're like, please come live in Dubai. But then they trap you there, I feel like.
Yeah.
And it's hard to leave.
Really?
I swear, man.
Dubai.
That's some weird conspiracy stuff, though.
God.
I mean, once you move there, how do you move back?
I would not want to live there.
Tens of thousands of dollars.
It's up to them to let you through the airport. It's up to them. And especially if the World War III kicks off, Saudi Arabia just joined BRICS.
Yeah.
Right? What are they going to do to an American investor? That's, just put two and two
luckily,
together.
I think Abu Dhabi and Saudi Arabia and honestly everything in that peninsula will be protected pretty.
You think so?
Well, if that oil gets cut off, that's 20% of the world's supply.
It's a huge chunk.
The US, we're chilling, but even China, even if they're backing Iran because they're Iran's largest trading partner. I mean, if that oil basin is shut down, if the Strait of Hormuz is shut down, they're done for. You have mass starvation because your energy and everything's collapsed. That has an effect on everything. So it's that's scary.
That's an interesting thing to think about.
Saudi Arabia officially joined BRICS.
Yeah.
Last year.
Pretty recently. They were talking about it last year, then they just solidified it. So.
I still think they're gonna do the nuclear program thing. I still think the current prince is going to try to use that to negotiate for their citizen nuclear program.
Okay.
Think about it. We have an iron dome around Israel.
Yeah.
I think we could establish one there. The United States just doesn't want to because they don't want to lose their authority over the oil.
Right.
Which already OPEC is low key their own government. You know?
Pretty much.
So I don't know. Very interesting things.
Yeah,
Fascinating.
man. Just back to the China issue here, okay? Because I can't leave them alone. Hong Kong raising its guarantee on bank deposits from 64K to 102K worth in US dollars in an effort to calm economic worries. This is all in relation to their economic decline in real estate. So, with China's property downturn in its third year, progress in downsizing the sector has been rapid. In some respects, housing starts have fallen by more than 60% relative to pre-pandemic levels. Historically rapid pace only seen in the largest housing bust in the cross-country experience the last 3 decades. Sales have fallen amid homebuyer concerns and the developers' lack of sufficient financing, the Evergrande type situations. Very interesting. By the time China's housing bust, which started in 2021, bottoms out, according to the IMF, it will bottom out around 2026. The IMF predicts that the China housing sector will contract by 45%. In the best case scenario, the IMF projects the housing economic activity in China contracts by 30%. And in the worst case scenario, anticipating a housing related drawdown by 65%. That is cataclysmic for the Chinese economy. And thus, this happening to China, this is where I get the internal feeling that they're just true and tried quantitative easing is going to come back. The rest of the world's going to realize, oh wait, they're not acting monetary responsible anymore. And so then, we'll see Japan move into it. We'll see the Americas move into it, quantitative easing, that is. And, seeing this happen, it's really scary for the traditional markets, but chaotically enough, it is bullish for risk assets. This is the conversation of collapsing upwards, where you just start waltzing down the road towards hyperinflation in the largest countries in the planet, which is an insane thing to think about. You see it happen in Venezuela. You see it happen in, with Sri Lanka, all these different places, Argentina. But to see it happening to China and the United States is pretty cataclysmic. So watching all that stuff, this is the latest North Korean election results by district. Kim Jong-un. Really
real life pudgy penguin.
Yep. Real life pudgy penguin.
100%.
Locking it all up. Look at that. Just 100% across the board. Congratulations for the fudge data and centuries of brainwashing on your citizens. So fantastic work. Here's Charles Hoskinson. I'm going to play this video, Owen. And we're gonna see what Charles Hoskinson has to say about the recent Solana outages might be lending a helping hand. Let's have a listen.
I heard you were collaborating with Solana. It seems like you were quite a fan of their network. Collaboration with Solana would actually make a lot of sense. My brother, a little bit of lore in the family. My brother, before he became a doctor, actually ran a very successful business. It was called NintendoRepairHut.com. And probably on Wayback Machine, you can see all of his inventory and the things that he did. But let me tell you, he did some great work. He would make for the old NESs like custom molds and actually create the new lids, because the lids would always break on the old old Nintendos. And he actually got new pins made for the Nintendos because the original ones were made of too flimsy of a metal. And what happens when you push the game in too hard, it would bend the contacts. That's why when you blow on the cartridge, it actually makes contact better, because it provides a kind of a conductive fluid for it to go from the cartridge to those little pins that get bent. So the ones that my brother would make were made out of a stronger material, so when you put them in, it would fix the flashing light problem on the NES. And so forth.
My God. This guy, I feel like he watched the show and saw the meme of the Nintendo. We showed the meme, you're like blowing on the N64 cartridge to fix it.
What if he did?
Good times. Good times.
Oh my God, that'd be awesome. One time we had CZ share a link once. That was pretty cool. Charles Hoskinson absolutely meme lording Solana on the outage. Now, Solana really hasn't fallen after the news broke. I don't believe we're still sitting somewhere around $95. Let's check it out. 97. Not giving up much ground here. So Solana still holding up pretty damn well. I thought DZ's video on it and all that information he pulled on it was really awesome on the price contractions afterwards. and the fact that every time there's an update, then you have an outage. So not a great look. Not a great look. Yes, it makes money. It's gone from $9 to $120. Good velocity on its resurgence, but holy hell, not a long-term hold I would be given to my kids.
No, it's more the ecosystem, and I think it was just an easy way for a lot of faster transactions and adoption and retail. Obviously, with the NFT hype, I don't think Solana's going to go anywhere. There's obviously way better tech out there, but this just goes to prove, like, even if you have better tech, you're utilizing Hashgraphs or holo chains, or you use layer 0 with zero gas and complete interoperability and functionality for smart contracts. It's like, even if you have the best tech, if you can't market it, you're not going to see any value come into it. Solana's community, man, it's strong. It's just one of the strongest out there, and that's not going to go away. So that's kind of my thoughts on it.
Yeah.
It's like,
I would agree.
Yeah,
especially now, like ETH Maxi is transferring to Solana now. I think more than ever.
I've seen a slew of those, and then also Solana just it's like a cult following almost at this point. It's like the underdog story, the rooting for the underdog. It has a little bit of virility in and of itself.
It has a good NFT
but
community.
every successful crypto has a cult community.
Yeah.
True.
Every single one. So it's like that's part of the culture, and that's like why every leader in each category, every community, Bitcoin's completely separate than XRP Maximus. Cardano Maximus are completely separate than Solana Maximus, and it's like they all have their little category. Then you have like little cockroach hexagons over here, but like each of them have their own cult-like mentality that allows them to reach these prices.
That's a good point. Kind of feel that way about Cardano too. Even though I like it, it's kind of that way. I did see this. Just note on Cardano's volume is up by 54%. What's with the price here? Let's look at the actual volume. What's going on? A substantial 54% surge in trading volumes over the last 24 hours, according to CoinGlass. The surge driven by combined turnover for spot and derivatives markets to almost $1 billion. That's pretty substantial, constituting 5.88% of the asset's total market cap. As present, ADA holds position as 8th largest on the market. Analysis of ADA price chart reveals a continuing decline since mid-September, with 3.3% decrease recorded today. Absence of visible support for the ADA price in the current zone suggests a potential decline down to 38 cents per token. Thank God it's not $38 yet, which represents a 22% decrease at the current level. I'll kind of just check out the chart. I will check out the Caspa chart after this as well, but got a little 8 on my mind. Want to have a nice greedy entry point here, seeing if I could shave some off the top to get in a little bit better of a spot, and I can see where they're calling for that. This is the shelf that it hesitated on before it really rip-rocketed on up. Let's get a little bit more data here. Hey, I got to get on TradingView. The little box blocks out all what you're looking at. Have you noticed that? This update that CoinMarketCap, look at this box. It's like dancing. You try to go one way, it's like, no.
Oh, that drives me crazy, kind of.
It's kind of weird. Let's see here. Let's go to...
Can't unsee it now.
Yeah, I got off that. Let's see. Go to 1 week. Yeah, man. I mean, the bottom end of this range that it was sitting on for a while in this time frame, about May of 22 to September 22, it goes down to 41 cents, about 40 cents flat. We're sitting just barely over that. My God, 49 cents right now. Maybe I'm being too greedy on this entry point. That's what I'm kind of realizing here. Maybe I should just stop wanting it to go down just a bit more before starting to
buy it, bruh.
I know. I may as well. God, there's so many things I would need to get. Cardano is definitely still on the list. I definitely think it's going to be a mover. Caspa, that's like a Craigslist missed connection on this one. At least we're talking about how to mine it long ago. But here we are on the yearly. You can see it started not even a penny. Just under a penny, and now it's sitting at 12 cents. Oh, man.
Rip.
Yeah, this is waking up. This is coming back. This is a 7-day. You're up from 10 cents all the way up to 12 cents in a pretty quick move on the week, about 20%. If I'm seeing this, though, this monster's waking back up. Let's see here. The year. Yeah, I'm going to kind of...
Sleeping giant?
Yeah, this is... it's gathered a lot of steam, and it didn't go back down too much at all from its real. It ripped up to 15, 16 cents, completely blew a lot of people away, fell down to 10 and just held it like an absolute boss. You got, if I'm looking at from hillbilly perspective, that kind of looks like a double bottom to me. So, you know, Caspa looking like it's getting ready for its next leg up on the markets before it happens. I'm looking at it, kind of putting my ass on the line saying it, but it's looking like it's going to rip beyond that 15 cent mark in pretty short order. Now this, Hannah.
Yeah.
We have information on Warpcast. This is from Farouk. You tagged me in it. I GM'd on Warpcast before I GM'd over here. Oh my G. IDK, what that means, but I am fully pilled. What the do you know English, bro? Do people on crypto know English anymore? That's my first question.
No, we speak in code.
Yeah, you speak it in code. I know. That's why it's hard to decipher. You're like a translator.
Literally,
at this point.
Hudson told me this morning in Slack that he doesn't understand my Gen Z language or my Gen X.
Yeah, I lean on you to decode a lot of what's going on in these degenerate new things that are being built. I think it helps quite a bit.
Context clues, pilled, stoked, excited.
Okay, see, I'm so lost. Pilled? Are they drugging people on these new platforms?
Convinced.
Pilled?
I'm pilled. Red pill.
Yeah.
Pilled?
That's a.
That's a new term then.
Yeah. Like
So is
you've
that what
taken
we're
the
doing?
pill.
Okay.
Yeah,
I've been
you're out of
pilled.
the matrix.
Okay.
you know?
Interesting.
I'm
Okay.
pilled. So Farouk, big name,
Yeah.
content creator, owns Rug Radio, which merged with Decrypt.
Uh-huh.
And they're big. They have huge following. They're onboarding a lot of influencers. There's me.
Yeah, there's
He
you
liked
popping up
those.
here.
But he posted this morning. So before getting on Twitter and posting his GM, he went on Warpcast, which is the Farcaster. Like, you have to go on your app store and download Warpcast to be on Farcaster. So basically, he's bullish on Farcaster and everything that they're building over there, decentralized social media, and that just made me more bullish this morning. I still cannot get on it. My app is like
You're
stuck.
still not downloaded.
It's stuck loading, and I think I'm the only one. Somebody in chat said that they had the same problem. I really am curious, though.
Okay.
I want to learn more about this. And then this came out this morning on CoinDesk.
I do sound like a boomer. I should be a boomer.
I
I was like, everybody faded it immediately for the
Yeah.
past like 3 days, but I'm like, it is still like people are.
I'm bearish.
You're bearish.
I'm bearish, but I have a bullish conclusion to the thing.
Look at this. I mean, there's one thing that I liked about it that I could point out just immediately. What has vaulted Farcaster to the center of crypto Twitter conversations over the past couple weeks in the project's release is these new frames feature essentially allowing apps to run within posts. So users don't have to click off another site. According to Dune Analytics, the average daily user for Farcaster has shot up from fewer than 2,000 to has recently hit a high of 20,000 users. Okay, the app thing, not having to click off an app. If you're on Twitter, you see some product that you want to buy, or you're on Facebook and you see some product you want to buy, but then you got to click the link and go to another thing and wait for that thing to load. And then you got to go through, into their shop, and, you got to do all these steps. If you're able to literally just purchase the product directly off the social app, that sounds like something that Facebook's going to buy the idea to.
Does nobody see what this sounds like?
What's that?
What does that all sound like?
The sound WeChat.
The everything app.
Yeah, it's
X,
the WeChat.
the everything
right?
app.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
who's bullish
I'm
on
sorry,
crypto?
Aaron. I had to say it.
You took my conclusion. I think the app's going to fail, and they're going to sell it to a big company that's already well established.
Yeah. Well, they don't necessarily have to fail for that to happen. And that could be a big win.
No,
if you're on
that might be what they want.
Right.
They might want to make this a big success.
Right.
And then someone's like,
Big
ooh,
success.
that's a good idea. Let's just buy the company from them.
As a consumer, it sounds good. Like,
Wasn't the example something about Girl Scout cookies? There was a post saying like the guy, like, because right now on Twitter, like the only thing you can like really do is like make a poll, and you can like poll stuff. But with this, it's like Twitter and Canva had a baby, and you can like make this post, and you can like edit the buttons on it and all this stuff. Essentially, he made it to where there was like pictures of Girl Scout cookies and buttons to press to buy it, and you could buy them with crypto. But at the same time, anyone in the chat have a MySpace back in the day? It reminds me of MySpace.
Yes. Yeah, and then shout out to MySpace.
You
I,
could
miss
completely
Tom.
customize your homepage, like your own page or whatever. But the issue I have with this is it's not user friendly. So like your mom and dads will not be able to use this, I feel like, because
Did you get it?
Do what?
Did you get it?
No, I don't want to.
Shout out to Tom Anderson, man.
I want to
MySpace
know
Tom.
how user friendly it is.
I don't know. I'm curious.
So,
but
Yeah,
It-
she's
people,
trying to download
people
it.
struggle with Canva.
Yeah,
And that's a dumbed down version of Photoshop.
Yeah.
I just expect like X to come out with their everything app and then integrate like Lightning Network and like you can purchase with crypto if you want, but you'll also be connected to your bank, you'll be connected to your social media, you'll be connected to your music, you'll be connected to your game, you'll be connected to whatever apps you need to.
right.
So like I really want decentralized social media to succeed. I 100% not dude, but I do.
Dude.
Blood.
From bleed. My thoughts are kind of just I come from like streaming. So when I used to be on Twitch, there was a day when Fortnite was obviously 2016 started popping off, blowing up. And like 2018 or 2019, Ninja gets bought out from Facebook for a platform called a Mixer for like hundreds of millions of dollars.
Where they at today.
They were trying to compete with Twitch, but they couldn't incentivize all the users to move from Twitch over to Mixer. So I think the hardest part is that's an awesome feature.
Yeah.
How does the system incentivize users to move from an everything app like X, which has one of the most popular humans on the planet, which is Elon Musk,
I don't think they can.
over to it? So it has to be monetary reasons.
Yeah.
And that's where I go, okay, what's the long-term outlook on this? Are they going to either get bought out one day or even Mixer just failed? They were
Yeah.
just a $1 billion mess.
Ninja ended up
He made
being
bank.
freaking,
That was the greatest contract of anybody's life.
Yep. And then he just went back to Twitch.
How long did he have to be on Mixer? I remember that for
I don't
such a
know.
brief
He was gonna be
period.
on there for
It was like a 5-year contract or
years.
something.
And then they just ended it because
Yeah,
of,
but he got to keep all the money.
Oh my gosh,
I
what
remember
a deal!
that.
I know.
That's amazing.
I know.
Retired.
Yeah,
He's like, I don't care about views anymore.
Good lord, that's pretty amazing.
Friendster,
What else we
anyone?
got here? We have some speculation on the potential reason why Link recently pumped, and
love Link.
talking about the Q4 23 product update. Chainlink CPO anticipating Link CCIP general access will launch early next year. CCIP GA is coming soon, and the projects need Link to leverage it. Just talking about something is brewing. Maybe they're getting ready with their Link positions right now for these CCIP integrations. Honestly, man, as long as CCIP is in bed with Link or with Swift, as long as that relationship still remains and they continue development in Australia and New Zealand, that's the first and foremost thing I'm focused on. Then I'm going to be more bullish. Honestly, another thing that makes me extremely bullish on Link is the front end work that they've done to tokenizing real estate. I think that the real estate woes that are going on right now are going to be a little bit of scorched earth and open pasture for the development of more trusted systems that the banks can trust more so they don't end up in similar situations of being underwater with specific property holdings they're in right now. So tokenized real estate, that's another huge thing that I think is going to kind of catch people off guard sooner than later. I do think it's coming this cycle, not across the board, but I think the testing and implementation of it and the speculation and price action along with it will be coming in this next bull market. So, watching all this, maybe that's the reason for Link pumping, maybe not. Maybe it's just that we're in the beginnings of a real nasty bull market. I'd kind of lean to the other option.
And Bump It was right, yeah, dude. It was Microsoft. That's my bad, but yeah.
Kuzikan Bump It was a Mixer streamer. It was owned by Microsoft.
I wonder what did you
Facebook.
stream, dude? I might have streamed at the same. I was one of the first people on Mixer too for a long time.
Were you on there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I switched to Twitch. I was like, oh, this is gonna be the next big thing. So
What'd you do?
Now
on
they
your
got
crypto?
Kick.
no, it was all Fortnite. I was all Fortnite and Escape from Tarkov for a while there.
Yeah.
Ugh,
I'll
Escape
kind
from
of run
Tarkov.
through this. I got quite a bit of updates. I'm not going to get too into the weeds on Eigenlayer today. We're running short on time. Time was flying when we're having fun. But Quant securing a U.S. patent for connecting DLTs. Supposedly, this is going to help them unlock seamless transactions across all blockchains, simplifying multi-chain operations. I have heard, in my deep dives of Quant, that was a big part of their focus was interoperability. So good to see a little bit of action and progress for Quant. Pyth network unveiling a second phase of a token airdrop for over 160 dApps within the network. Good to see Pyth. Honestly, graphs looking good. Looking like a healthy project to be looking at. Dimension. This is the project that came flying out of nowhere this morning into the top 100. 183,000 followers on this one. I kind of just wanted to do a cursory view of what the heck's going on here. Enabling a bigger roll-up ecosystem and talking about their mainnet launch, the growth of the internet on roll-apps. Kind of interesting stuff to see. Big step yesterday, but this is really just the beginning for Dimension. Next time I see how deep the Dimension rabbit hole goes, let's check out the price graph on this guy here. Kind of curious.
Oh, it was the first one.
What is this? It was the first one?
It was. No, it's not.
Oh, well, you know what? It's the worst day of my life. So
there was again.
There was again?
It was.
Where is this? Let's just go to top gainers. Where is this?
Oh, network error.
There
Maybe
it
that's
is.
why.
Potentially. 588 right now. Obviously, it's probably a pretty new. Oh, no. Wow, look at that. A little spike down all the way down to $2.10. Not too terribly long ago on the 4th. God, was it? It's only the 7th. This was 3 days ago. Let's go see how much data this. Oh, yeah, we only got about 7 days of data on this. Mainnet launch, yay, going well. $862 million market cap. With, like I said, within the 100, pretty quickly. Circulating supply, obviously, it's a new token. Only 14% of it is out. I'm not freaking out about that, honestly. Total supply sits at 1 billion tokens. So, might have to be watching this one here. This, have you looked into Dimension? This thing kind of came out of nowhere.
Oh my god!
You got some, Hannah?
The Pudgy Penguins got airdropped thousands of Dimension.
The Pudgy Penguins did?
Yes,
Why?
They have
Whoa!
I'm bullish now.
They have so much money. So much money just got pushed into the Pudgy Penguin ecosystem. There,
I don't even know what Dimension is.
Okay.
It just launching at what, a $700 million market cap?
Yeah.
Everybody.
it just goes to show me when people keep saying, "Josh, we're not in a bull run." What do you mean?
Yeah.
Like this is straight up 2021 vibes when we were starting to like hit that like launch and projection from 28K to 42K. This is like Elon Musk entering the market. Hundreds of millions of dollars are split. I think we hit over $1 billion invested into DeFi in the month of December. We had like 700 million or something crazy last month. Like hundreds of millions flooding into these markets, guys. This is where we're at. It's why I'm very worried about people that are waiting for 30K Bitcoin right now.
This is
graphics
interesting. You had some great takes on that in the morning show. I really like that because that's exactly where it is. And I had signs of the same problem. I'm waiting for another 20% dip, man. I didn't hear no bell.
Still waiting for 15K.
Yeah. And then same famous last words on Pudgy Penguins, right? We were sitting there. Oh, you know what I mean? Like we were like, we'll get it for $200 or whatever. What are they, like an ETH now or something?
I thought it was like 4 ETH.
Yeah. So
I mean, can you name a bearish catalyst to take place in the coming year for crypto that would like just crash crypto?
You know, I mean, I think you could have a really red day because
she goes,
a bomb. That's exactly what it is.
Well, what did that
EMP?
I don't know. Maybe it would have short-term fluctuations, but in my opinion, that might actually be bullish for Bitcoin.
No, I mean, it'll skyrocket it. People will want, because then
that's like worst case scenario. That's like meteor.
Well, right.
Like,
if we die. Get a major bomb, then you'll have NATO in an even harder conflict with BRICS, and then that whole SWIFT conflict that we saw, where we were able to just basically sanction a large portion of their transit. That would be hard in the mind of China and Russia, should that occur. So then that'd be hyper bullish for Bitcoin, particularly because the BRICS has already openly talked about backing their currency and their system with it.
Yeah.
It's the alternative.
Exactly. And it's like, then think like another one. Okay, let's see if China invades Taiwan. All right, boom, massive, which I don't think is going to happen. I agree with you 100%, but maybe in a few years. But they can't
in a few
right now.
years.
But that would be a supply chain shock.
Yeah.
Boom. Now the supply that's what caused the rally in 2020 in the first place. Was the shortage of everybody be like, oh my goodness, cities are terrible. We need to move out. They started buying cars. They moved out of the cities. We needed more semiconductors.
Right.
Okay, that's bullish. So and then we have presidential election. Well, we know we have multiple pro Bitcoin candidates. Everybody is transitioning more and more towards that. I think we all agree on where that's going.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's bullish. China collapsing, printing money, bullish.
Right.
I'm like, okay, so what's going to bring us to 25K? It would be a black swan event we can't see. And even if it did, institutions, I'm buying instantly.
Yeah. I mean, they already failed on Disease X. Nobody cared.
Yeah, nobody cared about Disease X. We're like, Bill Gates, dude, just worry about your gut.
Yeah.
and come back to us later. We don't need this, you know?
There's so much more I had pulled. I don't really think I'm going to get into it. Yeah, EU is banning Tucker Carlson over his Putin interview. I think the interview is going to be breaking tomorrow.
Wait.
So yeah, that's a shout out for not being able to hear the other side of the line when you're literally planning on going to war and potentially decimating your entire civilization in opposition to said party. But let's not listen to their point of view. See what the hell's going on when conversation starts.
How is the EU gonna ban Tucker?
I mean, they could just block him at the airport.
Easy.
Yeah. I mean, you could put him on a list.
From coming in the country.
The shaman was blocked. Like
that's it. Like everybody will still have access to the interview and whatever.
Oh yeah, but Tucker himself, they're talking about banning him from ever coming into the country.
I mean, they could easily ban the interview too.
Yeah.
Like Oracle, if they were
which-
like, you know what,
Yeah.
everything relies on Oracle servers, and if they want to just ban the interview, they could.
That's so scary.
Trudeau froze people's accounts. You know, it's like, and
They deleted the Nelt Trump interview.
yeah.
Yep.
It's
They
like
can do it.
it's very easy to see. Well, there's something else on there though. What was? Can you pull that tweet back up you had?
Yeah, absolutely.
There was something like towards the bottom of it. I was like, wow, that's.
Well, we're just highlighting, Dan Rather interviewed Saddam Hussein, in the Gulf War.
Oh yeah, it said
just all these
Henry Kissinger.
Barbara Walters and
Yeah.
Fidel Castro or Justin Trudeau's father. Walter Cronkite sat down with Anwar Sadat amidst the Middle East tension. So yeah, I mean, this is.
I think
it's
the
important.
difference is all those reporters were pro-war.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think that they're pro-war, but it was okay for them to do because they were on the side. I think that at the times that those interviews were done, it was less polarized.
Yeah.
And so, I think we're in a kind of a different dichotomy where people just have a harder time. Cell phone.
This is why.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody
the
else.
cell
Well, they've
phone.
done it in the past. Well, the only time they've done it in recent history, I think, was like MSNBC or NBC.
Yeah.
With was 2021 when it first took place. But this is the reason.
Yeah.
We didn't have cell phones in the 90s or the 2000s. They were like okay with broadcasting that because misinformation, artificial intelligence, that wasn't all. We didn't have the same technology.
Absolutely.
Very alarming to me that people are like, no, this is bad for society. I'm like,
I
this
know.
interview is a historical.
It forces the truth up to the surface.
A historical moment.
Yeah. Well, lots
Protect
going on.
Tucker.
I think me and Nick are going to make a video. He's got some stuff going on. I got a couple things I want to try to record. It's a fast moving day. I'm going to try to do leg day after this. So we're going to get going. I know, Aaron, it's going to be horrible, but we're going. We're going. So appreciate every single one of you out there. Hannah, Josh, Aaron, thank you for joining me. Owen is barely alive on the board, but he is clicking the sticks. Fantastic man himself. He's on a recovery path. There he is.
Whoa,
there it is. But appreciate Jimmy Nicole, Minus Tater, JF Space Native, Shake and Bake, Meanless with the ooh-woos. Oh man, he is dropping ooh-woo bombs all over the place. Let's holy hell. Kuzakan, Crimson Caravan Company, Robert Young, Just Jim, Scotty Swing. Appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for the support. If you can, smash the like on your way out and share this stream out with a friend. And we will see you tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
When in doubt, zoom out.
Bye.